Okay. So as you can see, this has been going on for a couple of days now. I think it's just in Econ News just gave me a notification that North Carolina they will finalize their official ballot counts, I believe, until next week. So they're projected for President Trump to actually win that. Georgia is very close right now. Donald Trump is leading, I believe, at 49.6%, according to comparison to Joe Biden is 49.2. But I look at this according to Google, if this is very accurate. Biden has 264 electoral votes. You have Donald Trump has 214. Now I kind of did the math. If Joe Biden just win Nevada, which is 6 electoral votes, he will get 270 exactly. And he went be the next president of the United States. Now on the other hand, if Donald Trump gets Pennsylvania, Georgia, North Carolina, he may get like 265. But if he doesn't win Nevada, I mean, he's going to lose by 5. So, I mean, people say it's in the bag right now. People kind of silent right now on Facebook, but we don't know what's going to happen in this particular moment. But I would say those who vote for Joe Biden, who's in support of the Democratic Party, is going to they might have a victory. In my last video, when I was saying too, I want to go into detail. Like, it was just the whole 4 years since Donald Trump been in office, right? It's just been nothing but negative journalism, stuff. Like, I mean, you've been going to news like New York Times, CNN. They just talk about pretty much little every single thing instead of him just focusing on what he's doing for the country. I mean, it's been going on to detail like, oh, Trump this, Trump that, and when you hear that for 4 years, it's going to put that in your mind, say like, okay, well, this guy's incompetent, why should I vote for him? And maybe there could have been like a whole plan itself, but I'm just looking at, I remember I was at work, I'm like, dang, bro, back in Michigan, I'm like, okay, I know he's in office, I know people that he was kind of selected by the people that was kind of upset about it, even though Hillary Clinton won the popular vote. Why does this matter? This is ridiculous, it's your fault, all the world's going to end. I mean, all this type of stuff, man. I mean, yeah, people have their differences, but every time you turn on the news, it's nothing productive. I mean, James Comey, the FBI director, was fired. Mathis, he retired. You got a lot of individuals, man, in the White House just stopping, just scandals after scandals. I'm looking like it's nothing professional going on. And I'm like, why is that? Are you not talking about the meetings he had with the dictator of China, like, or the things that he was trying to eliminate the civil unrest with between the U.S. and North Korea with Kim Jong Un. Yeah, he didn't. President Trump didn't probably address the South Dakota pipeline and all that type of stuff, man. He was polluting the water, but I mean, they didn't really go into detail. I'll say some good things he did, like far as like the prison reform. He worked with Kardashian. You got. We also too. I will say the black unemployment rate was at an all-time low. Stocks were going up tremendously. People was criticizing him because he, was getting rid of the Obamacare. The thing about the Obamacare, the affordable health care, yeah, it was a good thing. You could sign up for it, and people had affordable health care, but you had to pay more in taxes, though. That was the downside of it. Medical debt is it's a huge thing, man. It's prohibiting a lot of people to reach their American dream. But, I mean, it's some good things that he done in office, man. I'm not gonna sit up here and say like, oh, he's horrible, it's bad, like the things that the news is saying. But I just think what really put a big scar on is this the whole virus situation that happened, man. I mean, a lot of people was all work. People were uncertain, man, what was going on. Stock market was crashing. I mean, people was getting evicted, and it seemed like a lot of the politicians, like the local governments, you got the mayor. It's my personal knowledge, I just believe they really turned their backs on the American people, man. And then you got a lot of people at home, so of course this is going to be a big voter turnout. People had that in mind where they was going to the polls, like, man, we need a change, we need something. Like, we felt betrayed as a country, man. We felt betrayed as American people. Like, they didn't notify us, they didn't know us. I mean, we was able to get, some people was able to get food, different supplies. I mean, preparing stuff like this to happen. I mean, it was just a lot of things that went on, man. It slowed a lot of progression. Slowed a lot of destroyed the morale and the ethics at an all-time low in this country. And people coming in mind voting in the polls, man. So, I mean, I think that's probably one of the reasons why people felt like, the Trump probably became lead us out of this situation. Like, maybe he's just all for himself and just for his rich folks. So, I mean, I don't know how true that is, but I mean, I can't really blame people, man. I mean, it's just it's so many things that goes on too. I mean, we look at too with the Obama administration as well, like the Trayvon Martin situation that happened in 2012. George Zimmerman was able to get off. He didn't go to jail. He didn't serve no jail time, and that put a stench on the black community. Like, oh wow, like you mean to tell me you're not going to punish someone who actually took a life of African American male? I mean, this is when the birth of the Black Lives Matter movement. It was kind of compromised by George Soros and Democratic Socialist Party. It's so much going on, man. And then like a lot of this stuff going with the BLM. You got George Floyd. You still have major protests, racial injustice going on. People figuring out like, man, this needs to stop. Like, the American dream is pretty much just obsolete at this moment. We just want to be treated as a people, and I just look at it like, it's nothing wrong with people voting for Trump and stuff like that and have Trump this, Trump that, but at the same time, like, how is this going to progress? How is this going to help the American people as a whole? I remember, like, we had too much civil unrest, like all these riots and stuff like that when George Bush was in office. Yeah, he made some calls like the Iraq War, the Taliban and stuff like that was going on. You still got troops out there, people was away from their families for like 10 years or so, man, coming back with PTSD. Then you had the Patriot Act in 2001, a lot of this stuff going on. So I mean, when George Bush was going against John Kerry, then you had George Bush going against Al Gore. I mean, I remember my family voted for Al Gore in that particular time, man, because he was very knowledgeable with the global warming. A lot of things was going on too, man. Then we didn't want to go back to an unnecessary war, but I mean, it wasn't riots, it wasn't civil unrest when George Bush won. So I mean, people still had like Bush this, Bush that, but it wasn't to the point like, oh, okay, we're gonna fight everybody who like Bush. Now it's just like you see people wearing Trump stuff getting beat up, or you know what I'm saying, or vice versa, getting pissed on and stuff like that. If you wear a MAGA hat, I'm not condoning it, but if you wear a MAGA hat, people want to fight you. It's just like, dang, man. So this is where we at as a country. It's the world and the ethics are very low in this moment right now. A lot of hypocrisy that's been going on too, especially with the Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer. I don't condone her getting some people planning to kidnap her, but that was kind of ridiculous though. I think she was blaming on Trump or whatever, but it's just a little silly stuff like this, man. You know what I mean? You run in a state, but you're very hypocritical. You want people to stay in one particular area, but you're going out getting your hair done, and then until you made it very difficult or nearly impossible for people to buy seeds so they can plant their own foods, so they have to really depend on going to the grocery stores. It's kind of ridiculous, man. So I mean, that's more of a dictator approach in a way. I understand that you want to try to eliminate as many deaths as possible with this virus, but at the same time you gotta let people live, and then you're not living to your standards, in your vacation home. I mean, people looking at this stuff, man, so we don't know what's gonna happen, man. So does it look like Joe Biden might be the president of the United States? It looking like if he wins one more state, Nevada, but then again too, we don't know. It's not over until it's over, man. So to every vote is actually counted. But this is for as this country, man, there's a lot of civil unrest going on. The ethics are very low. We're so divided, man. Of course, with the racism and all this stuff, that probably never go away. It's been going on since the beginning of time. But I mean, this is really blatantly has been exposed here in this country, though. So, but that's pretty much my thoughts on this whole thing right now. So, unless in North Carolina have another update, but I just want to kind of make a little mini video about this, the state of where we're in right now. So, but this your boy Only Junior. You guys can comment and subscribe. I might be on the podcast talking about the whole results of the election. So stay tuned for that, man. Whoever wins. But yeah, that's all I really have to say. You guys can comment, subscribe, share this video. I'm out. Deuces.